Ilan was so many things to so many people. His role at the Midrashah and Shmonim was so critical because he basically saved a lot of soldiers that were in Kravi units and kind of, had reached their limit in terms of how much they wanted to engage in Kravi activities, and he allowed them a place to study plants and science and nature. And it was, as all of you know, the Army can be tough, and especially for Chaylim Bodedim, which I was and some others were as well. And there were very few places where you could go and you could speak to an officer, as a friend, and who would be right there ready to help you and willing to do really anything, including, breaking rules, which Ilan was pretty good at. And sort of going around the authorities and the rules of the Army. Ilan had a special talent in order to get the things that he wanted. And it was always for other people, never really for himself, but never got anything out of it. But he just enjoyed kind of working with the Army and finding a way to help people. Shayu b'mitzuka, I guess that's the word, or just people that had desires to leave their Kravi units and join the Midrashah. But then on that fateful day, on June 5th, we got a call that we had to meet up at the Lebanese border and enter Lebanon, and it was a tough time. And a few days later, I think it was 155 millimeter howitzer rockets landed on the school in Reshidia, and if I'm not mistaken, those were the concussion grenade, or the hedef, I guess it's called. I learned that word only at that moment when after the missiles fell and many people were injured. A few minutes later, I saw Ilan, and he described to me the moment when he was thrown. He used a Russian term. I think he said "yifoti kibinimat" or something. The concussion threw him pretty far, and he seemed okay, but it was obviously something that he was going to have to deal with for a long time, both psychologically and obviously physically. But he went on and he continued to be a part of the unit, and about a month later, we received word that me, Ilan, and another soldier, Ofer, would be going home. And I remember the moment Ilan told me we were in the amphitheater in Tzor, Tyre, in southern Lebanon, and he tried to convince me to get my stuff together, that there was a Eged bus coming into Lebanon to take us home. And Ilan always had a story, and I just couldn't believe that this was true. I was so traumatized by the whole fighting, and I was already in the Army for almost 3.5 years, and I just couldn't believe that it was ending. And but Ilan said, we're coming, and there in the middle of the night, an Eged bus, an old one, just rolled up, and the driver said, "Get on," and me, Ilan, and Ofer got on the bus, and he drove like 150 kilometers an hour and took us back from southern Lebanon into Tel Aviv, I think he dropped us off in, and it was all over. And then Ilan and I kind of ran Eshchar together, 1 week him, 1 week me, and until we were released from our service. I think we were both released around the same time, November 16th, 1982. And again, I had the same reaction when Ilan told me that I was getting out of the Army. I still couldn't believe it because I had another 3 months to finish for these 6 months that they added. But he convinced me on the phone that it was real, and the next morning I would be at Bakum and I would be a civilian. And the following day I came back to New York. But I have many, many memories of Ilan, and too many to talk about here on this video, but he meant a lot to me, and many life lessons. He's a person that I certainly will never forget, and a person that's very much a part of who I am, and very much a part of my experiences in Israel. And I look forward to connecting with you guys soon, hopefully this summer, the 40th anniversary of the Lebanon War.